But I just, before we close out the discussion, I want to touch on your interpretation of the Aleph Mem Shin. Can you bring that to life for our listeners?
Yes, I will bring you into it how I bring people into it.
Okay.
So Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, received a pattern on top of the mountain, and Hashem told him to build a tabernacle according to this pattern. And this pattern is what David gave to Solomon. And he said, build this according to this pattern. And the pattern is according to these letters, Aleph, Mem, Shin, and the rest of the 22 letters. But from these 3 letters, Aleph, Mem, Shin, they're called the 3 mothers, and all the rest of the letters come from them. And we see them reflected within the tabernacle, the holy place, where there's these 3 pieces of furniture. And so what I'll do is I'll have a person envision that in their mind. Envision in your mind that room where you have, on one side of the room, you have a menorah, and on the other side of the room, you have a table of showbread. And in the middle of the room, you have an altar of incense. And if you don't know this pattern before you go into the next room, you'll die. This is a very big thing. If you don't know this, you're going to die. This is the whole secret of the mother's Torah right here. So these 3 letters are corresponding to these 3 pieces of furniture. I want you to point to the faculty on your face that the menorah would be used for. It'd be your eyes, because the menorah produces light for the room. And if you point to your face where the showbread would be for, it'd be for your mouth, because you eat bread with your mouth. And point to your face where the altar of incense is, its nose, because you breathe through your nose. And so these 3 letters, which represent air, Aleph, or variable, Mem, which is earth or water, because the 2 forms, solid or open, and Shin, which is fire or light. And if you look at the letter Shin, and so I tell people who don't necessarily know Hebrew, look at the letter Shin, it looks like a menorah. So now in your mind's eye, you place those 3 letters onto your face, and you'll see a pattern. And then I want you to go to a bigger view. Put those 3 letters on your body. So if your stomach takes in liquids and solids, you would place a Mem there. If your head takes in light signals, then you place a Shin there. And what's in between your head and your stomach? Your lungs. What does your lungs take in? Air. So now that's the bigger pattern. This is the secret of tree on top of tree. That's what Rabbeinu says, is tree on top of tree. There's a tree to the face, and there's a tree to the entire body, right? And that's why you see the 7 Sephirot of the 7 kings of Edom are corresponding to the 7 holes in the head. So now we take this into the bigger aspect, and I'll usually be out somewhere, and I'll have them look out at a distance somewhere, and I'll say, if you take this pattern now, you look out at a scene, you're going to see water and earth at the bottom. You're going to see the sun at the top, and what is in between the sun and the earth and the water? Air. And now if you go to dogs, if you go to animals, every animal will be eyes on top of nose, on top of mouth, head on top of chest, on top of stomach. This pattern is reflected in all of our reality and every place we go. If we have dreams, it's there. If demons are there, they're there. They're according to this pattern. And this is because these are called the 3 mother letters. And from these letters, everything else come. And if you take a harder look at that tabernacle, you'll see that they actually represent all the 22 letters in that tabernacle, because the table of shewbread represents the 12 elemental letters. The menorah represents the 7 double letters. And the altar of incense represents the 3, and the 3 pieces of furniture in themselves represent the 3 mother letters. So all the 22 letters are right before that priest, before he enters into the Holy of Holies. And if he didn't know this pattern, he would die. And this pattern is irrevocable. This is what Moshe received at Mount Sinai, and he says, do this according to this pattern. This is the secret that your body is the temple of Hashem. You see, because your body is according to these letters. And this is also the secret over there where it's written, in the beginning was the Word, because the Word is made up of letters, and the letters is where everything comes from. So that's how I bring people into these 3 letters.
That was the best I've ever heard. The Aleph Mem Shem explained. That was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All glory to Hashem.
All the glory to Hashem. And the truth is that to see Hashem in reality, it is all about pattern recognition. That's the name of the game. Yeah, yes. That's Hashem, that's Hashem, that's Hashem. Everything is Hashem.
Yeah, well, you can't get away and say atheism is completely debunked at this point.
Yes.